Welcome to the Selling with Influence podcast, where we show you how to sell more of your products and services consistently, predictably, and profitably without having to offer discounts, quote lower margins, or compete on price in a race to the bottom just to get the business. My name is Duane, founder and CEO of Influence Seminars, and I am your host. Hello and welcome back to the Selling with Influence podcast. I'm your host, Duane, founder and CEO of Influence Seminars. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the N and the F of the Selling with Influence model, or the Influence acronym. And I'm doing the N and the F together because they go hand in hand. And you'll see why here in just a second. Before I jump in here, please remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and like the notification, or hit the notification so you see whenever I release brand new episodes, or run over to iTunes and subscribe to the podcast. Listen, if you're getting value either way, share this with somebody who could benefit with it, whether they're a business owner, CEO, entrepreneur, sales professional out in the field, or sales leader. This is designed to help everyone sell more consistently, predictably, and profitably without having to offer discounts, compete on price in a race to the bottom. So let's pull apart the N and the F. The N stands for never sell need. I know what you're thinking, but hear me out. Because the F is about find out what they think they want. So N, never sell need. F, find out what they think they want. I'm going to tell you a story about how I learned this the hard way. By the way, before I jump in here on that, run over to sellingwithinfluence.com. There's an overview of the whole Selling with Influence process. It's like 16 minutes long. And if you want some additional training, some deep dive training for you or your sales team, there's a 3-part video series that I think you'll absolutely love. You can play it in your sales meeting, or you can watch it yourself. But here's a story. So when I first started my speaking business, this was in 2006. I've been wanting to be a speaker since I was 15 years old. I saw a leadership speaker for the first time, and this was my first attempt at doing so. So I got some mentorship that told me I should go to a conference to showcase my talents and be in front of a bunch of people in the room who could actually buy my services at the time. So I went to this thing half cocked, half prepared, really not knowing what I was getting myself into. And I had a successful presentation, and then I have one where I fell flat on my face. And in all fairness, I mean, if I'm going to make excuses, in all fairness, I didn't know what I was getting into, so I didn't know how to prepare. But like I said, the first one was wildly successful. The second one, not so much. And here's what happened. The first one I went in, my whole message at that point was I was trying to teach, it was actually college, it was the college market, college students, how to kind of prepare themselves for, after they graduate, how do they succeed by pursuing what it is they're passionate about and turn it into a viable income or business. Anyway, so we had labeled the presentation from where you are to where you want to be. That was the first presentation. The first presentation was a breakout session at this huge conference. And it killed because the room was absolutely packed. And it was a small room, but it was a breakout session, so I had about an hour. So I really just dove into it. I had a video camera in the back room. Had people swarm me afterwards saying how awesome it was. It was beautiful. I thought I was going to get tons of business. Didn't know how the conference really worked. But anyway, so that was cool. It all worked out. But then I got 15 minutes to do a showcase in what should have been a room full of buyers, but it wasn't stacked properly, blah, 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 blah. But I fell flat on my face because I didn't know what to do. My message was all over the place. I wasn't focused. I didn't have a lot of things in place. So when all was said and done, no business actually, I think I invested like $2,500 to be there and walked away with a big zero. Lessons learned. But in hindsight, I learned why neither one of those presentations, even though the first one was good, and it was actually really good, with the feedback I had gotten from the room. And the second one, even though it bombed, I learned why much later, because I heard a mentor of mine say, you've got to wrap your gift, your package, in the correct wrapping paper if you want people to receive it. And here's what that means. See, at this conference, it was a student leadership conference. Give me 1 second. I got to sip of coffee here. Cheers. Anyway, so So this conference at that moment in time, and probably still to this day, they're very driven by student leadership, right? There's all kind of different topics that the speakers were talking about other than me, but leadership is kind of their sweet spot. And a couple of different things about that. Number one, that should have been a no-brainer, knock it out of the park thing for me because I was a 9-time student leader in high school and college. So that was my sweet spot, but I respected leadership so much that I didn't want to approach leadership because I was in awe of the principle of leadership. And the other thing is I didn't want to throw my hat in that ring with the rest of the speakers out there that were doing it because they were, quite honestly, they were bastardizing it. It was horrible. It was cheesy. It wasn't leadership, what they were talking about. But unfortunately, it was selling. So anyway, what I came to find out later was that I didn't have a bad message. I just wrapped it in the wrong wrapping paper. It's the equivalent of bringing a gift to somebody's birthday party and wrapping it in Christmas paper. It may be a great gift, but they're not opening it. And so my message from where you are to where you want to be was good, but they're not connecting the dots in their mind that it's a good message that they need because they didn't hear leadership in it. And it took me years, guys, to figure this out. I beat my head up against this wall. And I think the takeaway from this goes down to the 2 letters we're looking at right now. N, never, sell, need. I knew they needed the message from where you are to where you want to be. But I didn't find out what they thought they wanted, which was leadership. So watch this. If I could go back in time, oh my God, I could probably kill it in that particular instance, and here's what I would do. I would probably title that talk From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be in Leadership. Or Leadership, How to Go From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. Oh my God. Do you see it's the same message to the same group of people, but because I wanted to sell them what they needed, but did not want, they did not buy. How many times have you done that? How many times have I done that? And so it's so vital and so important. I said it in the last episode, go watch it. It's how we add aligned value. And I really pulled that apart, so go back to the last episode and watch it. But that simple distinction, how are you messing up that simple distinction in your business if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, a sales professional, or even a sales leader trying to get your salespeople to take the next step or move forward or improve? How are you wrapping your gift to those people? Are you trying to sell them what they need or give them what they think they want? Now, let's reconcile the two. I've heard this time and time again, you probably have too. Don't sell them what they need. Sell them what they want and give them what they need, kind of like a Trojan horse. No, wait a minute, Duane, that's bait and switch. No, it's not. How do I say this? Listen, you know your products and services, right? You know your products and services. You know them back and forth. You know what they do for people. You know the benefits, the results that they're going to get for people, and you know what they need. But they come to the table with a completely different picture or a similar picture that's wrapped a little bit differently. And if you try to connect the dots of the results and benefits that your product or service or solution can give them without wrapping it in the proper paper or speaking their language, they disconnect, they put their walls up, don't want it. It's not what they value. I hope that makes sense because that little distinction took me years to figure out. Years. Call me slow and stupid, but it took me years. And that's why I put it in the N and the F of influence. Never sell need. People don't buy what they need. They buy what they want. They beg for what they need. Right? Write that down. People don't buy what they need. They buy what they want and beg for what they need, with rare exception. So if you want to sell more of your products and services predictably, consistently, and profitably without being beat up over price or having to discount or quote lower margins to make the sale, you need to find out what they think they want. The Student Leadership Conference, they thought they wanted leadership. What they needed was to understand how to succeed after college. And the best chance of that, in my opinion, was them finding something they're absolutely passionate about and going all in. And if I would have simply said, leadership, how to go from where you are to where you want to be, instead of just saying how to go from where you are to where you want to be. Do you see? Oh, if you're watching this on YouTube, drop a comment. I want to hear your thoughts on this, right? Because, oh my God, this is Entrepreneur 101. This is Sales Success 101. If you're not connecting the dots for your customers, for your buyers, in a way that says, look, here's what you think you want, and here's how you get it, mapping over to the actual need. Now, you can't say, look, I know you want this, but here's what you need. No. You say, if I understand correct, this is what you want, here's how you get it. It's Trojan horse. It's not bait and switch. It's wrapping the gift in the right paper. I hope I'm using enough analogies. Never sell need. Find out what they think they want and show them how your product, service, or solution can get it, if it can. And if it can't, you have a moral obligation to send them elsewhere. And when you do, it'll come back to you. Because even they can't do business with you. If you help them, if you solve their problems, if you take care of them, they're going to tell other people about you. Hope this is making sense, guys. That's the N. Never sell on need. F, find out what they think they want, and then sell them what they need. And I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm passionate about this, as I hope you can see. Listen, if you're a sales leader out there and you're crushing it, if you're a sales professional out there crushing it, I want to hear from you. If you're a business owner or an entrepreneur who's having to sell every day, to make business happen, because nothing in business happens until somebody makes a sale. I want to hear from you. I want to interview you. If you have something very specific or unique that you're doing to consistently stay at the top of your game, I want to interview you on this podcast. So reach out to me. You can send me a text at 225-384-0693 or run over to sellingwithinfluence.com and send me a message. While you're there, watch the overview of the Selling with Influence formula. It's like 16 minutes long, and grab the training for yourself or your company that's going to help you or your sales professional sell more consistently, predictably, and profitably without having to I'll say it nice, without having to compete on price, lower your prices, or discount your value, because your products and services are valuable. And listen, remember, unlike any other profession on the planet, you can write your ticket if you learn how to sell with influence. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Share it with somebody. Give me a thumbs up. Like it. Stay tuned. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.